Okay, good morning, 10Pockels. Welcome back. I hope you had a good half-term break, enjoyed the lovely weather, had a chance to relax, get outside a little bit. Welcome back to your final half-term of Year 10. Okay, I'm going to just give you a short video about the feedback for your assessments that you carried out just before half-term. Thank you very much for doing those. I'm going to focus on the biology and the physics assessments. Mr. Sif will be giving you your feedback on the chemistry, which will be separate to this. Okay, so just to show you in a bit more detail what we're talking about, there's two parts to this. Okay, the first is your individual feedback. So on Microsoft Teams, when you go into there this morning, okay, you will see that you have a new assignment titled Dirt Tasks, okay, for biology and one for physics. Along in that, you'll have the assignment will have already been returned to you with your assessment score and some individual feedback tasks. Okay, that's what I'd like to focus on. Okay, so they are looking at the key areas for development. They're specific to you. They will be based on how you, any particular questions or particular topics that you struggled with more than others. Okay, they involve some work on Seneca, and they involve some other bits and pieces as well. If you have any questions about that, please ask. Okay, if something's not working or if you're not able to get onto there, please do let me know and I can email those separately, but hopefully that should be available on there. The second part, okay, to this video is the whole class feedback. So I'm just going to go through, first of all, biology and then physics. Okay, some of the misconceptions that were common across a lot of people for the assessment, and then the dirt activities. And this slide will go on to the Teams site, so you'll be able to access this at any point that you need. So just going through those misconceptions first of all. Okay, the first one that I picked up, a lot of people, was around the respiration question. Asked you to list which of the organisms respired. A lot of people missed out bacteria. Okay, it's worth remembering. Obviously, bacteria are living organisms. They do respire anaerobically or aerobically, but they do carry out respiration. The second point was around the photosynthesis experiment and about sort of the difference between repeatability and reproducibility. Something that we will look at in a lot more detail when we're back together, but essentially what we mean by repeatable is that when we carry out an experiment and we do maybe 3 results, we don't get too much variation within those measurements. Okay, that means it's a repeatable. Reproducible means whether we can actually repeat that test, we can reproduce that test and get the same result. Okay. Another common thing was around plant survival, so looking at water, what plants need to survive. Remember that it's water, minerals, space and sunlight. And then finally, the term metabolism. You had to kind of tell me the definition of that. There was lots of people kind of got close to this. I was kind of allowed, obviously not the exact definition if you haven't got it worded correctly, but there was some confusion as to exactly what this meant. And it's the sum of all of the chemical reactions that take place within living organisms. Everything that goes on in your body. Okay, so on to the dirt activities. So well, this is the YouTube video. Okay, so there's some guidance now. So the consolidate task is your individual feedback. They are specific Seneca tasks. So some of you used the Seneca for revision. Okay, some of you didn't. Some of these is repeating some of that, or going back over and trying to improve your score, or doing it if you haven't done it already. Okay, but I've given you the exact chapters that I want you to use. The develop task. Okay, so once you've done the consolidate task, go on to the develop task, and I want you to choose one of those and create a mind map. Okay, so working from memory as much as you can. The way I would suggest you do it is no notes first of all, and then maybe use your notes to add to the mind map. And you can do 1, 2, or 3 of these. Okay, first of all, animal, plant, and bacteria cells, the organelles and their functions. So not only what is each of those organelles that are in there, but what do they do? Okay, for each of those different cells. The structure and the functions that are of the features of a leaf. Okay, so what do you find within a leaf? And then the carbon cycle. And then finally, your stretch task, if you're able to get through all of that, is an exam question. So again, this is provided to you on Teams, and it's individual to you. So there are some people may have the same exam question to you, depending on how they did, but it related to a particular part of the biology assessment. Okay, it's not the same question, it's a similar kind of question. Okay, so that's biology. If you have any questions, as I say, please do let me know. You can stop now if you're only wanting to do the biology for the moment. I'm going to now go on to the physics. So the physics looks very similar. Okay, so some common errors, some misconceptions. Types of resistor. Okay, there's a consolidation task around this, which you'll see in a minute. The V equals IR equation. Okay, very important to remember. One of the most important equations you need to remember, but not only to remember it, but how to rearrange it as well. So if you want to find resistance, it's not just R equals V times I. It's how you would rearrange any kind of maths equation where A equals B times C. Okay, so to find C, we need to do B over A. Okay. IV characteristics graphs. Okay. Something for you to look at. I need to go back over your notes or have a look for those and sort of embed those into what you understand. How thermistors work. So a lot of people sort of making some errors here on how a thermistor actually works. So that's something we need to make sure we're clear on. A thermistor, okay, as the temperature decreases, the resistance increases. Okay, and then finally, states of matter. Okay, one of those fundamental things that we need to be sure on. States of matter is absolutely critical, so please make sure you really understand not only states of matter, but how they change between the different states. Okay, so on to your DIRT activities for physics. Again, individual feedback with Senator tasks for you. Second thing is to create flashcards for all the different components in a circuit, so go back through and create flashcards with the symbol on one side and the exclamation or the name on the back. Then I want you to look at a heating curve showing the changes of state as ice turns to water and then to steam. So draw and label a heating curve. Okay, you can go and find one to research, but don't just print it out. Okay, actually draw it, physically draw it, and label the different parts. Your develop task is to use this YouTube video to help you attempt to reword your answer to question 8. So most people struggled with question 8 and would like you to go back and have a go at redoing that. Okay, and then your stretch task is an exam question, which again is provided on Teams in the same way as before. Okay, so hopefully that should all be clear. Any questions again, please do ask. Good luck with all of that, and please make sure you submit all of that back through Teams on the correct assignment. Have a good week, and I will speak to you. Oh, I should say I will speak to you obviously during our Q&A later in the week. Please, if you've got any questions about any of this, do come back to me before that. You can post some questions. We'll spend a good period of that time, at the start of that Q&A, working through some of these misconceptions, some of these bits and pieces. And I will look forward to speaking to you then.